Hi, thanks for being here. I'm Joseph Tusawe. I'm the Senior Operation Manager at Spokes of Hope Worldwide. So today I'm very interested in presenting to you about the functions of management as well as the styles of management. So for every function of management, I'll be I'll be describing it clearly, and then try to show the tasks that are related to that function. And then finally, for the styles of management, I'll be describing it, and then try to talk about the strengths and the weaknesses of it. And I will lastly try to give an example of a scenario in which using that style would be very appropriate. So let's begin. We're going to begin by defining what is management for everybody to understand what management is, and so that they can also understand the what we'll be explaining afterwards. So according to Boundaries 2017, management is the act of engaging with an organization's human talent and its resources to accomplish desired goals and objectives. So in fact, management is something that requires, that comprises planning, something like organizing, staffing, leading, and controlling an organizational business in or effort to the purpose of accomplishing a goal. So it's all about trying to take like the organization by trying to organize, to plan everything, so that all the goals that were set before will be achieved. So quickly starting to part one, we are going to talk about the functions of management. So according to Roberts 2017, there are 5 main functions of management. Those are planning, organizing, staffing, leading or coordinating, and controlling. So we're going to talk about each and every one of them clearly, and I hope you will keep your attention on what I'm going to say, because it's very important for you to know. So let's begin by planning. Planning, this function is the function of management. It controls all the planning that allows the organization to run smoothly. So this planning function involves different things. It involves defining goals for the organization. It also involves determining steps to achieve those goals. So if you have set goals, of course you should be specific and try to show the action steps that you're going to take in order to achieve those goals. This function also involves determining the missions and resources to achieve those goals. When you set goals, of course you will need to take some action steps. So taking those action steps, you will also need some resources in order to achieve them. So this is what planning is all about. So let's go to organizing. This is also another function of management. So this function, it involves the leadership mostly. So it's a function of leadership which controls the overall structure of the company. Without it, the day-by-day operations of the business becomes difficult and unsuccessful, because when everything is disorganized within an organization, of course there is no way success can come from. So this management function involves different things as well. One of them is designating tasks and responsibilities to employees. Another thing will be the allocating resources across the organization. The third one will be developing the organizational structure and chain of command within the company. So this function is really very important, because without it, success is very hard and difficult to achieve. So this information was also written by Roberts in 2017. And let's move on to staffing. This is very significant function because it is strongly connected to human resource management. So this function is likely it's very related to human resource as it controls all recruitment and personnel needs of the organization. This is very important. So it involves different things as I'm coming to mention. One of them is hiring the right people for the right jobs. Another thing will be encompassing training and development. This is a very significant thing because professional development plays a major role in organizational success. So another thing will be managing performances, promotions, and transfers. So whether it can be performance appraisal and like the internal management of the organization, all things related to human resource, they are done here in staffing. So this is very important also information that I got from Robert in 2017. Let's continue to leading and coordinating different activities. So this is a function that controls like all the organizing, planning, and staffing activities of the company and ensures all activity functions together for the good of the organization. So leading or coordinating is obviously like a function which tries to lead, to coordinate different activities. Such activities are, for instance, the communication, supervision, and the election by management. So this management function will basically involve the leader's approach towards providing directions, implementing plans, and motivating people. So motivating people will really make them work tirelessly to achieve the organizational mission and goals in general. So let's continue to controlling. When I say controlling, immediately you understand like just trying to make sure that everything is being done as it was planned before. So the controlling function is useful for ensuring all other functions of the organization are in place and are operating successfully. So it involves different things like establishing performance standards, monitoring the output of employees, comparing what is occurring with what has been planned. So I think this is very clear. So when you are doing something, you need to track, to monitor whether what you planned before is being done. So let's move forward to the we're going to let's continue with part 2 about the management styles. So according to Friedfeld 2013, there are 3 main management styles and they are commonly known as 3Ds. Those styles are directing, delegating, and discussing. So these are very important styles because each one plays a significant role in the success of the organization. If it is being implemented very well, it can really bring benefits. That's why we also be talking about its strengths and weaknesses. Each and every one, if it is done very well, can bring success, but if it is implemented badly, it can destroy the organization's mission. So let's start by directing. Directing style promotes learning through listening and following directions. So with this style, the manager tells employees what to do, how to do it, and when it needs to be done. This is information from Friedfeld 2013. So directing styles has strengths and weaknesses. The strengths are communicates directions openly, high expectation, saves time. Then weaknesses are it is predominantly one-way communication. Sometimes the directions are given unclearly, and it is authoritative. Sometimes some employees will be complaining about it that they are not involved. So we're gonna continue on scenario. The scenario I chose to give you here regarding the directing style is there is a new one-week project in the organization where a group of employees will individually be collecting data from the field, analyze them, and report them to the manager using an online tool. Since this is a new working system, the manager should use a directing style and make sure that the employees understand directions clearly so that they can complete the project successfully. So this was the scenario. Then let's go to the management style number 2, which is all about discussing. So the discussing style promotes learning through interactions. The manager encourages critical thinking and lively discussions by asking employees questions about the problem, opportunity, or issues that must be resolved. This means the manager is a facilitator. The discussions, facilitates the discussions and guide them to a logical conclusion. This is a Fred Field also information in 2013. So the strengths and weaknesses of the discussing style. Let's begin with strengths. So it's a two-way or multi-way communication. It develops critical thinking and it is really engaging. For the weaknesses, it can delay decision making. It is challenging to the employees, and some employees might be inactive, and this can be a very serious issue within the organization. So this information was also from Fieldfeld 2013. And quickly getting to the relevant scenario about the discussing style, there is a new software that will be dealing with salary in the organization, which has both advantages and disadvantages. When accepted, the employees will now be getting their salaries on time and more other benefits. However, each employee will be charged a little amount of money for the service. Since this is something controversial that can have impacts on both the employees and the organization, the manager should use a discussing style in order to compare and contrast the benefits and drawbacks of the software so as to make a logical decision and move forward. This is all about the discussing style relevant scenario. So lastly, let me talk about the delegating management style, which is all about promoting learning through empowerment. So with this style, the manager assigns tasks that employees work on independently, either individually or in groups. This is also the information from Freefield 2013. Talking about the strengths and the weaknesses of this style, we can now say that its strength can be it's a collaborative style, because people will, when they are working in groups, they will really feel involved in the decision making for the organization as they have been empowered. It promotes independence and teamwork. It empowers employees because they learn by doing. For the weaknesses, as far as the weaknesses are concerned, some employees might be lazy. This style might bring pressure and stress for the employees because they will be struggling hard to meet deadlines. And this style can fail completely when directions are not clear or when task progress tracking is not effective. This is also the information from Freyfeld 2013. So let me finish with this, the relevant scenario about this. For the delegating style, in the last 3 months, there was a remarkable phone sales decrease in J&J Electronics Company Limited. So due to the fact that there is no time for an emergent meeting, yet this is a big issue, the manager decided to assign tasks to 2 groups of 3 employees. One group to research on the cause of this issue, and the other group to find out the potential solution for it. Here, the delegating style is the best to use because the issue will be solved without any time waste and without interrupting the company's working environment. So this is very important information that I have provided. If you want more to read more about this, you can also find the more information on Freyfeld 2013, Boundless 2017, and the Roberts 2017. These authors and websites are also really providing very enough information for everybody who need to know more about things. So thank you so much for your kind attention. I think this was very helpful. I'm Joseph Dusal.